Peace, everybody, what's good? This is our boy Coach Malachi Williams, and you are now tuned to New Media Today USA. Let's go! Alright, everybody, look. I'm going to get straight to the point. We're going to talk about Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and my main man, Terence Bud, knock him out the box, Crawford. Now, this is a great interview that I heard on Fred Barbershop's Conversations with Fred and DB. Now, even though Fred and Barbershop Conversations, they are pro LDBC channel, they are pro PBC channel, we know that for a fact. But other than that, I have to give them credit where credit is due. They was able to flesh out some things for Bob Arum. Now, number one, I got my notes. You guys know I keep my notes. You see what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I listened to the whole interview with Bob Arum because that's the only thing that I was interested in. Anything after that was just other people calling in, saying stuff that had nothing to do with what I was interested in. But let's get straight to the point. So, question was asked. Fred asked Bob Arum about this arbitration because we've been hearing a lot of different things from the Alphabet Boys, and we know what they've been saying. $10 million step aside money, $5 million. Fanon said $100 million with a $10 million down payment plan, a layaway, $120 million payout to Deontay Wilder, $50 million, all these crazy numbers. And I'm gonna prove to you guys that they didn't know nothing. They did not know what they was talking about. You see what I'm saying? Because no one knows. Because Bob Arum doesn't know. But check this out. So the question was asked to Bob. Bob Arum says that the arbitration is still ongoing. Let's stop right there. Bob Arum lied about 2 weeks ago when he said that the arbitration was over with on Fred Barbershop's Conversation. So he did lie about that. That was a lie. The arbitration is still going on. But let me go further. And Bob Arum said that Fury and AJ fight is not contingent upon the arbitration. So let's stop right there. Listening to the Alphabet Boy channel, they are saying that, hey, the fight with Fury and AJ cannot go on because Wilder is holding up everything. That was a lie. You see what I'm saying? So both sides are lying. Bob Arum lied, Alphabet Boys lied. But the Alphabet Boys will never say they lied. You know that. Everything they say is the truth. They never lie. All this stuff there. They not in the arbitration. They don't know what's going on. But they never lie. They just always tell the truth. Yada, 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 yada. Every last one of the Alphabet Boys. So we just debunked that. What Bob Arum just did anyways. Okay, also a question was asked to Bob Arum. He addressed this also. Bob Arum said that, and nobody expects that there will be an injunction blocking the AJ and Fury fight, and the arbitration may be done in May. Let's stop right there. So now, remember the narrative, guys. Deontay Wilder, he's the king of the heavyweight division. He's holding everything up. How in the hell he holding everything up from Alabama and twerking? You see what I'm saying? So he's not holding everything up. The arbitration is still going on. That is fact. Bob Arum lied about that. But the Alphabet Boys also lied, put lies on top of lies on top of lies, when they said that Beyonce Wilder will receive hundreds of millions of dollars from Tyson Fury. A step aside money. $50 million, $20 million, $30 million, $10 million. All this stuff that they said was a lie. You see what I'm saying? Because the arbitration will not be done until May. They have to go back to arbitration in May, and the judge hasn't made his ruling yet. Well, now, that's one thing. Two, Bob Arum also addressed the elephant in the room, that Deontay Wilder is not stopping this fight between Anthony Joshua and AJ. We already went over that with the site fee and the COVID and the amount of money that both of these guys are going to want and the amount of money that the investors are going to want to make back. In order to put this kind of money up that they're looking for, they're going to have a venue that's going to have to hold full capacity. We done went through that already. I'm tired of beating the dead horse, and frankly, I'm tired of talking about this. But I'm addressing it because Bob Arum was asked a question because he wanted, apparently Fred wanted more clarity on the situation, even though he's going to take that and spin his narrative anyways, because that's what they do. They talk nice and sweet when they have Bob Arum on their show, and then when they get off the phone with him, they start sneak dissing and saying all kind of slick slot stuff. But that's neither here nor there. We're not worried about that. There's no injunction that's going to stop Fury and Anthony Joshua from fighting each other. Now, Bob Arum did say that Fury is getting agitated. Fury is losing patience because he's tired of waiting around. He wants to fight. Tyson Fury, it's your fault that you didn't fight. Because you could have went ahead and fought Wilder last year if you wanted to. You see what I'm saying? But you said the contract expired, which you did. So now, and you could have fought someone else in December when the Wilder fight, when you decided not to fight Wilder. You could have fought someone in December, but you didn't. So now, there's nobody's fault why you been sitting around waiting for a fight, but Tyson Fury. It's your fault, Gypsy King. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's your fault. You chose not to fight last year. You could have fought and you didn't. So you got to lay down and wear that. That's your fault. Now, let's move on to the next subject. Arum also said that AJ and Fury fight is not contingent upon what will happen with the Wilder arbitration. I already addressed that. Now, he said that May is the next time that they will go back to the arbitrator and the arbitrator will make his decision. So the decision will not be made on what will happen until May. You see what I'm saying? So anything else is speculation. So when Blue Balls say Wilder's going to get $100 million or $50 million or $10 million step aside, that's false. He's lying. Because no one knows what the arbitrator is going to say. When Fernand says, Wilder can receive a $10 million layaway plan, down payment, and get 20% of Tyson Fury's purse for the next 4 or 5 fights, that's false. That's a lie. You see what I'm saying? This is what these guys do. They lie, and they make stuff up. Now, Bob Arum did lie. Have to take it over there to Bob. He did lie and said that the arbitration was over with. That's false. Because in this interview with Fred on Barbershop Conversations, he turned right around and said that the arbitration is still going on. So when he said that the arbitration was over and Wilder lost, he lied. You see what I'm saying? But one thing we do know, Wilder hasn't said anything. He has been quiet as a church mouse. So let's move on from there. Now, Arum also said that worst case scenario, the arbitrator may rule that punitive damages may be ordered to be paid. Or he may rule that nothing will be paid at all to Wilder. That's exactly what he said. But no one knows what the arbitrator will decide. Now, this is what I've been saying the whole time. I've been consistent, guys. No one knows what the arbitrator will decide. You see what I'm saying? So since no one knows, that's why you've been hearing a whole lot of speculation about the arbitrator gonna give Wilder $100 million, and he gonna give him $120 million, and Tyson Fury gonna have to put down $10 million in the layaway plan as a down payment. They pay it off, and then have to pay Wilder 20% of his fight purse for the next 4 fights. That was made up by Fernand. And then Blue Balls, he done made a million videos saying, Wilder's holding up the heavyweight division and all roads lead through him and all that stuff there. Child to the please. Miss me with that bullshit. Like these dudes just lie all the goddamn time. So now, we don't know what the arbitrator is going to decide. We know that there will be a conclusion in May based on what Bob Arum said. Not based on what Coach Malachi Williams is saying, not based on what the Alphabet Boys are saying, but based on what Bob Arum is saying. Why is that? Because if Fred had inside information on what was going on, why would he ask Bob Arum what's going on with the arbitration if he already knew what was going on? You want to know why? Because they don't know. If they don't know. No one gets interviews with Bob Arum more than Fred Barbershop Talks within the Alphabet Boy community. Within the Alphabet Boy community, he's the one that gets the interviews with Bob Arum. So if he's asking questions because he don't know, then you know Fagnon and Blue Balls and Jabba the Hutt, 7 Day Sports TV, and all these other guys, Bossa No Ego and Dante's Race Late Nation, we know they don't know. Because if Fred don't know and Fred asking questions, then that means they don't know. So anything they say, they're just making stuff up. Now, let's move on from that because I'm tired of talking about that. Now, I get to talk about my main man, Terence Crawford. As we know, Terence Crawford receives a lot of hate from the Alphabet Boy community. Nobody in the Alphabet Boy community likes Terence Crawford. He's been saying a lot of little crazy things lately for the past few days. I will admit that, but I found out why. Terence Crawford has a fight coming up. He's landed a big fish. Not the fake big fish that's in Texas that's doing 300,000 and 250,000 pay-per-view buys. No, not that fake big fish, but another big fish. Now, there's speculation, because Bob Arum did address it. There was a question that was asked by Fred, who is Terence Crawford going to fight next? You see what I'm saying? And it's a possibility. It's a possibility. As a matter of fact, he said the fight will be announced this week. So Terence Crawford already has a fight under wraps. This is why he's been talking so much stuff, capping. It's not capping, because that's my main man. But this is why he's been talking so much stuff on Twitter. You see what I'm saying? And on Instagram. Because he has a fight lined up already. Contracts are already signed. Bob Arum said that they will make an announcement this week on who he would sign, and he said it's going to be a big fight. Now, it's going to be either Manny Pacquiao or Keith Thurman. Now, Keith Thurman is from my city, where I'm from. You see what I'm saying? So now, it's either going to be Manny Pacquiao or Keith Thurman. That's a big fight, because Keith Thurman has done better numbers than Errol Spence in the past, right? And Manny Pacquiao, hell, he's a legend. You see what I'm saying? So now, if Terence Crawford fights either one of those guys, that's better. His resume in the welterweight division is already better than Errol Spence's. Off the ripple. You see what I'm saying? Because Terence Crawford, if he we speculate right now. if one of the two names that they're going to name is Keith Thurman, Keith Thurman has beat Shawn Porter. He has beat Danny Garcia. You see what I'm saying? He beat him before Errol Spence beat him. And arguably, people can say he beat them when they was in their prime. You see what I'm saying? So now, that's another thing. And then if Terence Crawford can beat Keith Thurman, then guess what? That'll be another leg up that he has, because he beat the man that Errol Spence had beat before he even got to him. You see what I'm saying? So, and what I mean by that is this. Keith one time Thurman is trying to fight Errol Spence. Errol Spence don't want that smoke, right? For whatever the reason may be. It is what it is. And they're PBC fights. But if Terence Crawford can fight Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman is a hell of a fighter, and he is no pushover for nobody, if he can fight Keith Thurman and beat him, then they have nothing to say about Terence Crawford's resume. All right, let's put that aside. But let's say the fight, it's going to be one of these two fighters, guys. I can tell you that right now. And I'm not going to make this video long. If it's Manny Pacquiao, now I was on the Alphabet Boys channel because when I do my research, I like to see what they fanboys say. Not necessarily what the Alphabet Boys say, but I like to see what they fanboys say when I'm doing research on a certain topic. Now the fanboys are saying in the comments, well, don't nobody want to see Terence Crawford fight Manny Pacquiao because Manny Pacquiao too old. But those same Alphabet Boys say something totally different if Errol Spence was to land the Manny Pacquiao fight. If he lands the Manny Pacquiao fight, then they're going to say something totally different. You see what I'm saying? It's amazing that when it's Errol Spence in the conversation to land a Manny Pacquiao fight, he's God, he's this, he's that, he's big fish, and Crawford need to bow down to Errol when they both have a net worth of $8 million. You see what I'm saying? But now, if Terence Crawford was to land the Manny Pacquiao fight, now they're saying that, oh, well, don't nobody want to see that fight. He's too old. And then, guess what? This is something else they're saying. Oh, don't nobody want to see him fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman been out, he ain't boxed in 2 years. So if he beat Keith Thurman, that ain't nothing, he ain't did nothing because he's been inactive. Do you see what I'm saying? These Alphabet Boy, pro-PPC fight fans are so biased. This is why I do not like the LDBC fanboys. If you are a fanboy of the Alphabet Boys, I don't like you. Just know that. I don't want to be your friend. I want all the smoke. I'm not here to make friends, guys. I'm here to do what I do best. And that's called it like a TI is. You see what I'm saying? Either you like it or you don't. I will not apologize. I am unapologetic, and it is what it is. This is the way I see it. Now, as you know, I'm very passionate about Terence Crawford. I got a lot of love for Terence Crawford. He is my favorite fighter in the welterweight division. Now they're saying that, hey, well, we want him to fight Shawn Porter. Okay, Shawn Porter has a mandatory clause that he has not activated. So if Shawn Porter wanted to fight Terence Crawford, why he did not activate his mandatory clause? Riddle me that, Batman. Riddle me that. Make that make sense to me. You see what I'm saying? Make that make sense to me. You doing all this talking, all this yada, 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 all this blah, 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 blah. And guess what? I want to fight you. I'm calling you out. Yada, 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 yada. So Terence Crawford called his bluff. He said, okay, man, we'll activate the mandatory clause and I'll give you all the smoke you want. Silence. Now, Shawn Porter has COVID. Now, I like Shawn Porter. I really do. I like Shawn Porter. But it is what it is. He still has not activated his mandatory clause. So we're going to put Shawn Porter aside because that ain't, I doubt if that's the fight they're going to announce. But now, it's either going to be Manny Pacquiao or Keith Thurman. Now, I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because Fred asked him specifically, when was the last time you spoke with Manny Pacquiao as it relates to Terence Crawford? And he says, I'm not going to discuss that. That's nobody's business. He said, but we do have a big fight announcement for Terence Crawford this week. And this is a big fight. And this is going to be really good for Terence Crawford. So now this explains why Terence Crawford, a guy who normally never do any talking on social media, he comes out every now and then and play with the fans and yada, yada, yada. He tell them he's scared, he's afraid and all that stuff there, yada, 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 yada. And these fans who hate Terence Crawford, they are actively, aggressively at him. And most of them are black. So this is what I tell you guys from the UK and other countries. Stay out of the black American politics when it comes to race because it'll just confuse you. When it comes to these race baiting ass channels over here in the US, this is what they do. They race bait. And they race baiting ass fans who have low IQs. And yes, I'm dissing the LDBC fans right now. I am dissing you. You know what I mean? Because I generally don't like you at all. I do not like the LDBC fans and I don't like the Alphabet Boys at all. Period. End of story. You know what I mean? Because I come from that race baiting background. I come from the pro-black background, like I say. I got the Black Panther on here because my mother was a Black Panther. I was very radical in NOI, Nation of Islam. I was very radical. And I just thank God that he rose me up and got my mind out of that foolishness. And I'm going to get a full body tattoo, you know, like a tribal sign or whatever to cover this foolishness up because it's time for it to go. You see what I'm saying? I've been doing this stuff for a long time, and I woke up like, thank God, about 6 years ago. I snapped out of it. You see what I'm saying? But let me get back on track. Now, as it relates to my main man, Terence Crawford, Bob Arum said some good news than what I wanted to hear. You know what I mean? Because if Terence Crawford has a fight lined up, contracts already signed, I'm anxious to find out who it's going to be. So we will know by the end of this week because that's what he said on Fred Barbershop's talk. Now, I can leave the link in the description below so you guys can hear it. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'll probably do that. Let me go ahead and leave the link in the description below so you guys can watch this interview for yourself with Bob Arum, and you can listen to it in its entirety because he addresses the Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua situation and the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder situation, and he addresses the Terence Crawford situation. So these are the four main subjects. The men he talked about that questions was asked about him in this particular interview. He also talked about Shakur Stevenson, which is one of my favorite fighters. He also talked about Lomachenko. Lomachenko has another fight coming up. I forgot the guy's name, but this is a real big guy from Japan. You know what I mean? I think it's Kawasaki or I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce his name, guys, and I don't want to mess it up. Kawanaki or something like that. But Lomachenko's going to fight him later on this year as well. So this is great news, right? So now, let's do a quick recap. There's no injunction that will be put in place by this particular arbitrator that will stop Fury and Anthony Joshua from happening. So all of this stuff that you're hearing from the Alphabet Boy channels that, hey man, Wilder is holding the fight up, that's a lie. They don't know what's going on in the arbitration because Bob Arum don't know what's going on in the arbitration. Well, Bob Arum know more what's going on in the arbitration than someone who's sitting at home shooting YouTube videos, content creators like myself. I'm not there, so I can't say this is what's happening. This is why when you listen to these Alphabet Boy channels, you hear these outlandish step-aside money numbers and, you know, 10 million, 20 million, 50 million, 100 million, 120 million dollars to step aside, yada, 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 yada. It's all foolishness. It's not real. It's fake news. You see what I'm saying? And we need to stop perpetuating this foolishness and even entertaining this stuff. But hey, I get it, man. If you got to lie to your fans and they're giving you super chats, I'm not knocking the hustle. I do not knock the black, the black power hustle. I do not knock the race hustle because there's a lot of people out there who are my complexion, you see what I'm saying, who have low IQs. And you can tell them anything that they want to hear in order to get super chats. So I'm not knocking you guys' hustle. Continue to hustle, baby. That's what they are there for. If you can tell them some race baiting stuff in order to get them to watch your videos and send you money, continue to do it. That's what they are there for. Get all the money you can out of them. My job, I don't care about no super chats. My job is to call it like it is right down the middle. I hate race hustlers. I hate race hustlers with a passion because I was affiliated with race hustlers with this foolishness that I have on my arm. So I know what it is. I know what race hustlers are. I learned under the best, Farrakhan, and you don't get no big of a race hustler than that. And then the Jesse Jacksons and then the Al Sharptons. This is what these guys do. The LDBC are lightweight. They small, but we don't want to address them anymore. But as it relates to Terence Crawford, this is great news. Now, if Terence Crawford can get that Keith Thurman fight, you know what I mean, which is the PBC fighter. So PBC fighters can come across the street to fight Terence Crawford. It's just this one PBC fighter. He don't want no qualms with Crawford. Understandably so. He right. He need to stay the hell away from him because once he step his country ass in that ring with Crawford, we know he like to drink alcohol and stuff like that. It's gonna be over with because Crawford is not a Danny Garcia who you gonna beat for 12 rounds. Crawford is not a Mikey Garcia who is a lightweight. And Crawford is not a Shawn Porter who comes in head first. You see what I'm saying? And just starts swinging wild. You know what I mean? So we ain't got to worry about that. Keith Thurman is a little bit more calculative. I like Keith Thurman. Keith One-Time Thurman is a damn good fighter. And he's from my city. He's from my city. So I love Keith Thurman. I really do. But you know I'm going with Crawford on this here. You see what I'm saying? If that is the fight that will be announced. If that's not the fight that will be announced, then we're thinking it's going to be Manny Pacquiao. Because this is the big fish that's really Terence Crawford been chasing for a long time. You see what I'm saying? And even Fred Barbershop talks, when the interview was over with, Fred was talking to DB, and he said, we think it's going to be the Manny Pacquiao fight. They said they think it's going to be the Manny Pacquiao fight, or it could be the Keith Thurman fight. But it's going to be one of those two fighters. If Terence Crawford has a contract signed, sealed, and delivered right now, and they're going to make a joint announcement later on this week, that right there Now, you look at his welterweight resume now, he beat Jeff Horn when he moved up in weight. You see what I'm saying? Terence Crawford is a little guy. He's a small guy in the welterweight division, and he's stopping these bigger guys. So he'll beat Jeff Horn, right? He beat David Benavidez. So you say those two are nobody. Okay, cool. Nobody from the PBC has fought these guys, but they're nobody. He beat Mean Machine. Mean Machine was a 2-time gold medalist. Or a gold medalist, I think. He was 1 or 2-time gold medalist, but he was a gold medalist. So you say he's nobody. He beat Amir Khan. That's a good name on his resume, even though Amir Khan is washed up, and he beat Kell Brook. So now, so that's 5 names. If he land Manny Pacquiao, or Keith one-time Thurman, who is from my city, then what you guys going to say? I already know what you're going to say, because I've been on your channels already. I looked at the comments. No, as a matter of fact, I looked at the comments below after Fred got through doing his interview, and all of the Alphabet Boy fanboys were saying, well, if it's Manny Pacquiao, we don't want to see that fight. Of course you don't. You don't want to see that fight unless it's Errol Spence fighting him. So if Errol Spence fight Manny Pacquiao, it's cool, you want to see it. If Terence Crawford fights him, you don't want to see it. This is the bias that I'm talking about, guys. This is why I'm the way I am. Again, I don't have any friends in this community. I really don't. You see what I'm saying? You know, we all know some of the channels I like. I like a lot of the UK channels. I like a lot of the some of the American channels, like Counterpunch Boxing with Kurt. I love Kurt. I love my main man, Showbiz Still Dope, because Showbiz Still Dope don't get caught up in the politics. He's a nice guy. He ain't like me, though. I go straight for the juggler. Kurt, I like Kurt, but he's not like me. I go straight for the juggler. I call their names out. I don't even play. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm about. You know, they talk about Free Smoke Jr. I'm the real Free Smoke Senior. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm 47. There's nothing junior about me. I'm Free Smoke Senior, and I want all the smoke. And I'm not the guy that's going to want smoke, and then when smoke comes after me, I'm going to complain and say, oh, these people are racist, and listen to what they saying. Racism, racism, racism. Man, I don't give a damn about no racism, because you got white racists and you got black racists. Trust me, I'm a former black racist. And I hate professional victims who's always crying about being victimized by racism. This fans are racist and this group is racist. Man, damn all that. You see what I'm saying? What you gonna do? You gonna barbecue a mildew. If you can't stand the heat, get the hell out the goddamn kitchen. But other than that, this stuff boy Coach Malachi Williams, representing for New Media Today, USA Boxing. Tell me, what do you think, guys? Do you think this is good news? Do you think that, hey, Bob Arum is he really dropped some gems in this particular interview? Or do you don't believe anything Bob Arum is saying? And do you believe that everything that the Alphabet Boys are saying are true? If you believe that, that's fine. And also, do you think that if Terence Crawford could land Keith Thurman or Manny Pacquiao, what do you think about his resume then? And if he is successful in beating either one of those guys, because I'm pretty sure the announcements are going to be one of those 2 men, Manny Pacquiao or Keith Thurman. And if he's able to lock, when that announcement is made later on this week, and if he's able to beat those guys, which is going to be a big payday for him, because he makes approximately $4.5 million a fight, somewhere in that range. So if he can land the Manny Pacquiao fight, Bob Arum will make all his money back that he said he was losing on Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford will make $10 million or more, or whatever the case may be, and that'd be great. Then what? This is why Crawford is saying that, hey man, I'm done with the Errol Spence fight. We ain't finna be chasing this dude no more. This dude talking about he big fish and you doing 360,000 pay-per-views and 300,000. So check this out. You did 360,000 pay-per-views. That's the most you ever did with Mikey Garcia when there wasn't a pandemic. Then you did less when you fought Shawn Porter. You did 300,000 pay-per-view buys. So you lost 60,000 when you fought Shawn Porter. And then you fought Danny Garcia and you did 250,000 pay-per-view buys. So you went from 360 to 300 to 250. So you are regressing. You see what I'm saying? You are regressing in the pay-per-view numbers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now, you went from 360 to 250 when you fought Danny Garcia. That's 110,000 pay-per-view buy difference. You minus 110,000. Now, Terence Crawford is not even doing, he never did 360,000 pay-per-view buys. I'll admit that. Terence Crawford pay-per-view numbers were worse than Errol Spence. But guess what? If he fights Shawn Porter, if he fights Keith Thurman, or if he fights Manny Pacquiao, I guarantee those pay-per-view numbers are going to be larger than anything Errol Spence has done. You see what I'm saying? So now, that's what I wanted to address in the room. And this ain't no hate, they just calling it like it is, baby. You see what I'm saying? Again, I care nothing about the Alphabet Boy fanboys. If you are a fanboy of the Alphabet Boys and you don't like this video, I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care, baby. You see what I'm saying? I want all the smoke. And I'm right here in Miami. It is what it is. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to continue to shoot my videos. I'm going to continue to do what I do. You can call me a coon, sell out Uncle Tom. I'm not here to make friends. I'm good. I got enough friends already. You see what I'm saying? I'm here to address the elephants in the room. Tyson Fury, my main man. Anthony Joshua, my main man. Deontay Wilder, the twerkinator. And Terence Crawford, my favorite fighter. Other than that, guys, that's it. This is the boy, Coach Malachi Williams, representing for New Media Today, USA. Boxing and peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Come on.